Ye mama kwa basonko so the Ghana Politics Avenue so abusua mama ye mura yensem. Abusua eya Abronye nsem a ekọ so day in day out one afenyo markings atendidi a omudidi eye second court judge 9 atem no. Sisi ada omatro petition ada koma eye chief justice se osere omo se omo ye judge no free asem no so because omo nim se enya ade a judge ne bedi asem no ama omo. Nti no almost judge na say that petition no mother break judge ne momodi na ombo am no munye eye judge no free eye Abronye asem no so petition a omotwe no ono na yare ato eye enchen ho ade amamo no mumye nkotie nsem a omoka efa ho. MPP petition Chief Justice for the removal of Circuit Court Judge 9 over alleged misconduct in Abronye case. A petition a omochwa de koma a Chief Justice no ono na made ato a video ni nchen e de amamo no muyenko ni nkotie nsema.
Thank you.
And not to whitewash this.
Right. Let's just down on this.
I think the accusation, and obviously even from TV3, your framing of the question is the detention of government critics. On this platform, I mean, on your screen, detention of government.
No, that has to be
critics. That's your framing this morning.
What's happening?
That was happening.
And please, look, I think we have to respect that. Please. You see, you framed it, detention of government critics. On this platform are two of the harshest critics of President Mahama. For the past 1 year, several months, one of the staunchest critics of President Mahama is Miracle. He is punchy, he speaks his mind. Nobody has ever invited him to any police station whatsoever. Kofi Bento had criticized this administration in any form, including its appointees. Nobody, I repeat, has invited him. So President Mahama is not and does not have the habit of detaining his critics. That point ought to be made and ought to be made strongly. You see, one of the things that we must all recognize, I don't think it's a fair thing, but I'll just assume I'm not aware. You see, the whole conversation about speech in this country is not new. It's not new. I recall vividly, many years in the 1990s, the famous case of the Republic versus Tommy Thompson Books Limited, where the Free Press had published that the First Lady then, may her soul rest in peace, Madame Kunedu, had carried gold and cocaine abroad in the Free Press, if you recall. So the editors were arrested and put before the circuit court. Their lawyer, Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo, raised a preliminary legal objection among others that Madame Kunedu is just a first lady and not a public officer. And for that matter, those words could be used against her and is not worthy of any such protection through criminal prosecution. At that time, J. Rawlings was framed as the man who didn't like free speech. And that became one of the reasons why it was said in those days, and when we were growing up, that Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo was a fighter for human rights. That record is there. Are we not? What happened when he got the benefits of coming into power in 2001? Under the writing of Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo, then Attorney General, what did he do? He said former President Rawlings had decided to be critical of the Kufuor administration. And for that matter, his constitutionally sanctioned courtesies as former President of the Republic will be denied him. Official records written by no other person by then Attorney General Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo with his signature. And with your kind permission, I just want to read. dated September 11, 2003, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and it reads, my attention has been drawn by the Chief of Protocol, your letter of September 10th, 2003 on this matter. The letter seeks the assistance of this ministry in the procurement of visas for members of the former president, J. Rawlings, staff, as well as extension of appropriate courtesy for his travels. Government is somehow astonished to find, however, that the former president, who uses every occasion of his travels to malign and denigrate publicly his successor as president, so and so, and therefore concluded that we will not offer you courtesy. And today, the people who could deny a former president only because of speech are pontificating right here on this platform that they are the apostles of free speech. Such hypocrisy, who should entertain it? Even a former president could not even get the benefit under your people, and today you stand here and talk about what? Today, my brother Miracle says all of us are hypocrites, except him. I just want us to do a reference. And we go to gbconline.com. Miracles Abronye slams call for the release of Democracy Hub protesters. Thank you for your holier than thou attitude this morning. Which form of speech is more than the right to demonstrate? At the core of the right to demonstrate is free speech. The two run together. When young people of this country went on demonstration, and the reason for the demonstration is that they found that there were things happening in this country that they were not happy with. Under the name Democracy Hub, Miracle and his people banded them up, took them to Isawan prison, and when calls were made by well-meaning Ghanaians that this individual should be released, Miracle went on Asempa and likened the demonstrators to rapists. That is your record. And you have the temerity to sit on this platform and call people hypocrites. Do you know what has gone on in this country? My point is this simple. See, when we had the opportunity, and I will go back to the Tommy Thompson, the Supreme Court had the occasion at that time, the criminal libel law. The Supreme Court said, and in fact, it is reported in the Ghana Law Report, Republic versus Tommy Thompson Books Limited. That's the Supreme Court of Ghana Law Report, 1996-1997. That's the number 2. The court said those provisions were constitutional provisions, and that nowhere on earth is free press unlimited. This morning we are being told that the freer society is the more developed is it. Go to China. There's sound reason why China is where it is. There's sound reason why China is where it is. 2, in the United States of America, where the likes of Kofi Bento usually want us to emulate, there are laws on speech. And that is why today in the United States, the Anti-Defamation League, if you dare deny Holocausts, that is a basis for you to be prosecuted. Is Kofi Bento not aware of this? Is he not aware? In the United Kingdom. But you see, do you know where the hypocrisy becomes even more? Do you know where the hypocrisy becomes even more glaring? Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, as Attorney General, brought the repeal of the criminal libel law. By 2008, they introduced the electronic communication law and through the back door introduced section 76(1) of 775. It's a 2008 legislation. Kofi Bento has never denied his MPP membership. He has never.
But has he stated that he's an MPP?
No, I'm coming.
Has he ever stated that he's MPP?
Oh, no. I mean, association with MPP is not a criminal organization, so defamation won't lie.
Yeah.
Yes. But the point I am making is this. When the MPP introduced the repeal of the criminal libel law, by the time they left office in 2008, they then introduced the Electronic Communication
Which we
Act.
have condemned. I have
Please,
just
please,
condemned it
hold
right
on,
now.
hold
So
on.
add that.
Hold on.
You should go
They
to court to have
introduced
it.
the Electronic Communication Act 2008, particularly Section 76 that you referenced much earlier. That same provision is not different
Yes.
from the criminal libel law. The same people.
It's unconstitutional.
Today you sit here and talk about unconstitutionality. We've had the benefit of 8 years of MPP under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. The constitutionality of that 2008 legislation never came up. You dare not say that today. But you see, there's an interesting thing that I want all of us to appreciate. The Media Foundation for West Africa say that there have been more arrests. What is not in doubt that the Media Foundation for West Africa had to pay and smuggle Manasseh Azuri out of this country under Akufo-Addo. Please, under Akufo-Addo. That is the record. At least today, no journalists have been smuggled out of this jurisdiction. We were in this country, please. We were in this country where tax associated with the MPP walked into the studios of UTV one Saturday because, according to them, they were attacking Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. They were attacking the government of Akufo-Addo. At least so far, we've had a very decent conversation. Harsh critic of the government. Have you seen NDC members walk into your studios to assault people? They won't do that. So that record also to be set. But you see, I find it curious. This morning, Miracle says, oh, how come that Sami Jemfi said so and so, and for that matter...
What is so and so?
Please.
I didn't say that.
That Sami at a street protest,
yes.
And I heard Senior Martin even said that even when they were at Legon, they used to say that about Jerry Rawlings.
Yeah.
You see, Kofi Bentil and Co promoted Occupy Ghana, July 2014. In that July 2014, they assembled young people. One of their songs was Kum Mahama Emayeng.
Why are you arresting people then now?
Kum Mahama Emayeng.
Why then are you arresting people then for this?
Kum Mahama Emayeng. 2014, nobody tagged. In fact, the President himself was willing to go and receive the petition from the same people who wanted him killed.
So what changed?
Has anybody been arrested?
Yes, the lady.
Please, you see, the hypocrisy of Miracle on this platform is annoying.
Why?
It's annoying, brazenly annoying. Calm down.
You are the hypocrite here. Why are you arresting the lady now? You're moving in cycles.
Hold on.
I'm trying to resist it.
Yes.
There's a guy called Fancy Comedy.
Talk about the lady.
Is it Fancy Comedy? I usually okay.
Talk about the lady.
Look at the manner in which Dr. Omani Boama and co died. The pain of their death. I cannot for a minute bring myself to the point of doing anything about that death. When those young people did that, Miracle took them to Baumia. That Fancy Comedy guy, when he mocked the death of Omani Boama,
you were a hypocrite. That is
please,
when you arrested him.
Why can't you?
When you arrested him, you mentioned my name. Because you mentioned my name.
So calm down.
When you arrested him,
see today.
does that amount to arrest? Is it criminal?
When you were talking,
are we doing that? Are we having a funeral here? Is it criminal?
You mentioned my name like 10 times.
Is it criminal? Are we having a funeral here?
You are gypsy.
Is it criminal?
Calm down.
You arrest the guys for simply mocking, and you are telling me that you are telling me simply mocking.
You have
mocking. Make your point.
To say the mocking of the death of Omani is right.
You cannot play emotions with me for mocking. That is not a crime. You can't play emotions with me.
When you were making
when you start on TV and said that the Akufo-Addo should have died in the crash,
he didn't come in.
You didn't condemn him.
You have made your point
that is
already.
what you are.
Edit down, Claude.
I knew I'll get
Conclude on
you.
your point. Yes.
I knew. I was very clear. In my mind.
That is what you are. Then,
I knew I'll
then
get you.
you welcome me. I'm right here with you. I am right here with you. What is the crime in the crime? What is the crime?
You see.
All this is you are moving in circles.
When the Fanti comedy guy, Miracle, took him to Bawumia, Bawumia gave him a red carpet treatment at home.
He didn't deserve to be arrested.
The people who mocked
to be arrested.
the painful death of Omani and Co.
Emotions. It's not law.
Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia gave them a red carpet treatment at home.
Don't arrest citizens.
And you today you
Speaking
sit
up.
on this platform
you have said
to say
the
this.
substantive matter. Nothing.
You see, there's a young man in this country. He gets so annoying. Bongo Ideas. You know him?
I've not personally, but I've followed his.
Bongo Ideas had written something about the First Lady, Rebecca Akufo-Addo. He was kidnapped by national security operatives in this country under the watch of Nana Addo Dankwa
You
Akufo-Addo
condemned it.
and Dr.
Did you
Mahmoud
keep quiet? So why are you not condemning this? Why are you justifying
Today, as we speak,
You understand what I'm saying?
See,
you condemned it. Why are you justifying
when
this?
the young man called Ohiniba Beni sat on TV and said Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had mercy Supreme Court judges, it was the Attorney General who brought contempt proceedings against him under the watch of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
Condemned it.
Eventually, Ohiniba Beni was convicted by the court 14 days
Yes.
in Nsawan
And you
prison.
condemned it. Why are you doing the same thing?
It didn't end there. There's a journalist called Bobie Ansa. Bobie, on one of his shows, said the former second lady, Samira Bawumia, is developing a property at Cantonment or Labone, among others. The chairman of the police council, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, got him arrested by the police.
How do you make such an allegation against Dr. Bawumia?
Allegation.
Why in the proceeding did you say that
Allegation.
Bawumia was
Now, when police arrest you,
This is the vice president. What are you even doing to yourself?
You see,
So today all the arrests, all the 17 arrests,
careful.
all the 17 arrests are John Mahama.
But you see, you are G3.
No, but he's the one saying it. All the 17 arrests are John Mahama. So let's establish it. It's all Mahama.
You see, why he spoke against the wife of the chairman of police council. What happened to him? I was lawyer for Bobie. When I went to the counterback, he was in his boxer shorts. It was the next day that I went to court and got bail for him.
And you are doing the same thing.
You see, the reason why I've had to chronicle all those instances is that, you see, I've read a statement attributed to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, where he goes ahead to say that persons associated with the MPP are being harassed and try to, as it were, claim a certain sanctimonious, image. I want to put on record on this platform that as the chair of the police council, many arrests were effected by the police. Maybe he, as the chair, is not aware.
Okay.
But those arrests were effected. What we should never lose sight of is that even in the most advanced democracies, speech has always been circumscribed.
According to you, when you want it, when it's used.
Democracies all over. And in fact, if you look at the Constitution itself, it says the rights and freedom enjoyed under this Constitution are, quote unquote, within acceptable limits. So the Constitution recognizes that there are limits to speech. And so when Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, as lawyer for Tommy Thompson, made the argument that the criminal libel law infringed the constitutional right to free speech, the Supreme Court unanimously said no. In democracies, speech must be construed within acceptable limits. I'm a person that advocates free speech. And that is why I've been on your show from 2012 till now. Nobody has invited me to any police station. You know why? I respect myself.
Okay.
I will speak, I will make my point within what is acceptable. On this platform, Miracle has said some of the harshest things against John Mahama. He has not been arrested. Context is key.
Right.
And if we lose the context in the political case and what we are seeing so far, we'll do 360 degrees and come back to the same point.
So you condemn
Right. Thank you. Thank
What
you.
we are saying, condemn what?
Oh, gentlemen,
Which one?
The ones that you condemned in the MPP time.
Which one?
When people speak and they were arrested.
Speak
which you
what?
say.
When they said
you
what?
have listed so many things about people
I was
saying
even
things.
lawyer for some of them.
Exactly my
Boge
point.
And, all of those
and I'm saying
people
you
who were
condemned it at
arrested.
that time. You condemned it at that time.
Gentlemen.
So do you condemn it now?
Hold on.
Abronye said the judge is
let's
political.
maintain.
The same thing. In fact, Bandius is worse.
Let's.
But
So
how
do you
come
condemn
that-
it now?
I'll give them.
I'm even saying that you.
Bandius said
At
that
least
7
you
judges were
personally.
conspiring with the president.
At least I'm not on
Seven.
record.
Seven.
Oh, please,
Seven.
let me
No, you're on record.
Let me-
Record.
please let me
You
conclude.
made your point. You made
I
your
am
point.
saying
The
that.
microphone
Let me
is-
conclude.
yes.
At least
Seven.
you give. Let me conclude on this. The point I want to make is that
You condemn.
I am not on record as saying that somebody should not be released. I have just read Miracle, where he likened protesters, Democracy Hub protesters, to rapists, and said, if you are calling for the release of Democracy Hub protesters, why are we not calling for the release of rapists and armed robbers? I don't think the conversation
Thank you.
has been
Dr. Kwame
elevated.
Asante, I'll give you the last
Please.
word on
You
this.
are
Asante,
hypocrite.
you- so your microphones are off. No, Brackets are not. Your microphones
You were a
are
lawyer
off.
for. Then you are
No,
hypocrite.
no,
It's a big
you will still have your last word. Your microphones are off. Your microphones are off.
Condemn and arrest
No, Dr. Asante, I want to hear Dr. Asante. Your microphones are off. Your microphones are off. You cannot, no, I will, hold on. Dr. Asante, you will still have your 30 seconds. Dr. Asante hasn't spoken. Dr. Asante, yes. Dr. Asante hasn't spoken. And you are all not being heard. You are not being heard. You are not being heard. I will.
Let me just reference some, and then you. I will not.
No, which is what?
There was, you see, there are distinctions. When you threaten somebody directly harm, it's different from when you say, oh, I'm making a question of free speech.
Okay.
So
Thank
that
you.
when you say, I would harm you,
Then,
it's two distinct. One you can remedy possibly through a civil process.
Right.
But threat of harm, how do you remedy it through a civil
thank you.
process?
Dr. Asante, let me hear you.
Yeah, Alfred.
Well,
When I petition a MPP for the actual Chief Justice, so omuyi a judge odi Abronye asem no free so unsubscribe and not subscribe no one hit notification bell so the political hairline is what near the day abedo.